Hello, today I'm sharing some of the worst makeup I've tried recently. I usually share these beauty fails in my monthly favorites and fails videos, but I had too many products to incorporate these into my March favorites video. So here I am with a dedicated video just for these makeup fails and disappointments that I've had lately. I always share the good and the bad with you here on my channel to hopefully help you make better buying decisions, and in this case to potentially save you some money. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new, and let's go ahead and get into these makeup products that did not impress me whatsoever, some of which might be surprising. This first product might be surprising if you've been subscribed to me for any length of time. It surprised me. I thought I was going to be reaching for it all spring and summer. Now, I have all price points in this video, drugstore to high end, and these are my thoughts after playing around with and testing these products for quite some time. You may really love some of these products that I clearly don't. They're in this video for a reason. So please don't be offended if I don't like something that you do. We are all different. What works for me or doesn't work for me may be completely the opposite for you, and that's okay. It's my job to test and review products and give you my thorough thoughts and perspectives, and that's what I'm doing here today. With my overall coloring and my blue eyes, I love a good peachy toned eye look, especially for spring and summer, and I always love grabbing a new Natasha Denona palette, so I couldn't wait to try out Natasha Denona Bloom when it was released. I mean, the cover is so pretty, and it has a ton of peachy tones and champagne, which is something else I love, with a bit of rosiness. It also has a brown that you can use to add depth or line with. Now, there was a period of about, I would say, 2 weeks where I wore this constantly, and I just came to the conclusion that all of my eye looks looked pretty much the same. I have no complaints with the quality, but I almost feel like this is the case where it's too much of a good thing. There's almost too much peachy champagne something happening here. There's not enough variety. The only time my look varied that much was when I put this duochrome shade on my lid. I almost think she could have created a 6 or a 9 pan palette and she could have achieved the same thing. I could have gotten the same number of looks from that palette. I just got bored with it really fast. There's just not enough anything else other than peachy, slightly rosy tones in here. I've been able to justify spending money on all my other Natasha Denona palettes because I get my money's worth out of them. I get enough variety, different types of looks, but I can't say the same for this palette, unfortunately. I liked it for, the first couple of days, and after that, I just thought, why did I spend my money on this? I'm just getting the same thing over and over. So this was a pretty big disappointment for me, and probably my first full-size, I guess is this a full-size Natasha Denona palette that I've really been disappointed in, that I can remember anyway. There are a couple of products in this video I feel kind of bad about because viewers who love them suggested them to me to see my thoughts, to know how they worked out for me. And unfortunately, in these cases, they just didn't work out for me quite the same, but that's okay. We are all different. Now, I love finding a good lip balm. If you're subscribed to me, you know that. And in the spring and summer, when I'm outside more in the heat, in the sun, I love finding a good one with SPF to keep my lips from getting dehydrated and chapped during those months. But SPF lip balms are really tricky because a lot of times they taste really bad. So this is Dermatology SPF 25 lip balm. There are several products from Dermatology I've tested in the past that worked out for me, and I thought, okay, let's add this one to the list. This has avocado, shea butter, and cocoa butter to lock in moisture, repair dry lips, and it's supposed to be non-sticky and ultra hydrating and protect your lips from UVA and UVB rays. It has this slanted squeezy tube applicator and it applies very smoothly, but I can smell right away that SPF scent. I feel like I am inhaling and swallowing sunscreen the entire time I'm wearing this. It also doesn't last long on my lips, so I have to reapply it frequently. This was not a good experience for me at all. The SPF was just too pungent for me to be able to tolerate wearing this, and I just don't like having to reapply an SPF lip product this often either, even if it didn't have the SPF taste and scent. 100%. But yeah, this was a hard pass for me. Sorry, this just did not work out. I'm very picky when it comes to highlighters. The older I get, I want them to be sheer and dewy looking with no glimmer particles that are visible once they're blended out. I just want that dewy, radiant look to my skin that doesn't exaggerate texture or dryness. And I thought this was going to become a regular product in my rotation, especially with as much success as I've had with other Haus Labs products. This is the Haus Labs Bio Radiant Glassy Balm Highlighter Stick. Is that the name? Glassy Highlighter Balm Stick, excuse me. So I got it in glassy champagne quartz, and when you swipe it on, it does give that sheer, natural, dewy look that I and many people want in a highlighter. And it's designed to be a multi-use highlighter stick for cheeks, eyes, lips, and body. And it's formulated with 64% skincare, and it's supposed to be long-lasting with a glassy, shiny finish. And I'm here to tell you that is not the case. This is the most impractical product I've bought in a long time. I'm actually not even sure how this came to market, and that is so surprising to me, especially coming from Haus Labs. When you first swipe it on, it has a sticky, tacky, creamy texture to it that never sets down. It stays like that. Even if you slightly tap it out, it's still sticky and tacky to the touch. This is not a highlighter that you can apply over bare skin so it peeks through your foundation, because it disappears if you place any makeup on top of it. Since it never sets down, it's just movable. And if you apply it over makeup, it removes or lifts makeup you have underneath it. So because you can't see it under foundation, and because it lifts makeup if you try to apply it over foundation or over powder, the other option is over bare skin, but it's still tacky, sticky over bare skin, which means my hair is going to stick in it all day long. I find myself continually moving hair out of my face that's stuck to my highlighter, and if you try to set it with a sheer translucent powder or anything like that to take away the tackiness, you completely lose the sheen. There's just no practical way that I've found to use this with any other makeup and have it last, or by itself, because if you use it by itself, it also has no lasting power. I don't see how anybody would be able to wear this on their eyes at all. There are stick highlighters out there that perform well, and I thought this was going to be one of them, but it was surprisingly not. Let's talk about Pixi Tint Fix. This is supposed to be a multi-use lip and cheek product that gives this kind of soft focus tint stain, and it's supposed to be hydrating. So this is the shade Adore. I had kind of a mishap when I put the cap back on. Just gonna have to live with that. I swatched it here and here and didn't blend this out. I let it sit for a minute and then wiped it away so you could see the stain, and I blended this one out so you could see what it might look like on your cheeks. And the reason why this is in this video is because there is a hydrating claim here that I find to not be true. I have tried this in several shades, and every single time it makes my lips feel dry very, very shortly after I apply it. It sort of starts to set down and my lips start to feel dry. So I just do not find these hydrating whatsoever, and there are plenty of similar products on the market from, K-beauty brands and other brands, multi-use cheek and lip products that are hydrating and that work well for both areas. I can't stand it when my lips feel dry, and this makes my lips feel dry. I need to top it with some kind of lip balm or lip gloss, which I don't mind doing, but don't give me a hydrating claim if it's not really hydrating. Now, that's not such an issue on my cheeks, but I'm not typically going to buy this type of product in this tube if I'm only going to be using it on my cheeks. That might just be me. I just was planning on using this as a lip tint, and I don't like it that way. Now, this might be personal preference. All of these might be, right? But when we're dealing with under eye texture, dryness, and skin type, that's a whole other level. I can't tell you how many times I played around with and tested this new Kosas Cloud Set. What is this called? Kosas Cloud Set Loose Translucent Talc-Free Setting Powder. I have the pink one because I just couldn't decide how I felt about it. Sometimes I thought I liked it, and other times I didn't like it at all. And I was trying to set my face or my under eye area with it, and I just couldn't quite make it work well for either. It's supposed to be blurring, and some people were saying that it was a great option for the previous version before it was reformulated of the Givenchy Prism Libre loose powder. But I find because there is some very fine micro shimmer in here, it doesn't mattify my face enough in my shine prone areas so that I can use it as a face setting powder. There's just always too much of a sheen there for me. And there's something about the texture that can catch and kind of cake up under my eyes. So that plus the reflect from that fine shimmer. I don't know if you're even going to be able to see that on camera. Sometimes I can see things in person that you can't see, but I think you can pick up on that it's not mattifying enough for my shine prone areas, like I said. But when you combine that reflect plus the fact that it sometimes catches on my dry under eyes and can cake up, I found sometimes it exaggerated my dryness and texture under my eyes, and it just really didn't work for that area either. It was kind of a crapshoot for me. Sometimes it looked good, sometimes it didn't, and that's just not something I want. I need consistency, and I typically like a blurred, kind of soft, velvety, smooth look under my eyes, or even a soft sheen, but without micro shimmer in it that reflects all my texture that I don't want to be focused on. So yeah, this didn't do it for me in the end like I had hoped. I thought it would, but it just didn't. I've had several viewers ask me if I've tried the somewhat new, I think this is still somewhat new, Peace Out Instant Pore and Oil Control Roller. I love the Revlon Oil Control Volcanic Roller. It's fantastic for blotting and controlling oil and shine breakthrough for a long period of time too. It's really good. So I had high hopes for this one. The surface area is larger than the Revlon, so I was excited about that. The first thing I noticed when I went to use this the first time is that the roller is not smooth. I was trying to use it and it just would not roll. The only way I can get this to roll smoothly is to tilt my head back and use it. So if I use it like this, it rolls smoothly. If I try to use it like this, it catches. It's not even rolling right now, and I'm barely even pressing. It just does not have a smooth rolling action at all like the Revlon does. And it leaves this weird orange film on my skin. I thought I was imagining it at first. I thought my foundation was oxidizing, but I used this several times, and every single time where I used it, I would have these orange streaks on my face. And to make sure I wasn't seeing things, that I wasn't going crazy, I started looking at reviews at that point, and I'm not the only one that has had that experience. I actually started to blot with it to show you how it rolled in between takes, and then I remembered how it turned my face orange, and I decided not to do that. I mean, you can hear it trying to roll, I think, right here. It's just not rolling. So weird. I thought this was going to be great. I love the Peace Out zit patches and the under eye patches, but this just did not work the way I'd hoped. For me anyway, unfortunately. I mean, I live in some heat and humidity, so I love products like this. So to say I was disappointed is an understatement. I feel like I'm one of the only people on the planet that the somewhat new Revlon Glimmer Brightening Concealer has not worked out for. I ordered shade 115, so let me give you some of the claims which might explain why this did not work for me. So this is supposed to brighten your under eyes and visibly smooth fine dry lines over time. It's supposed to be non-cakey. It has vitamin C, caffeine, and stevioside to help visibly brighten skin. And it is creamy and it blends out nicely, but there's just not enough coverage for my dark circles. So even with corrector underneath, I have to layer this 2 or 3 times on top of the corrector, and it's too thin to use as corrector. And when I first look at my under eyes after I blend them out, it looks good sort of from a distance, but then when I look closer, it looks kind of patchy, but not patchy at the same time, which I realize makes no sense whatsoever. That patchy look is because of how the luminosity is sitting in my texture and dryness and how it's reflecting. It's just not flattering at all under my eyes because of the coverage and because of that luminosity and glimmer. If you have texture under your eyes or dryness or little crinkles, luminosity and glimmer is not always your friend because it can exaggerate those, and in this case it did. I love a good waterproof mascara to hold my curl before applying a regular mascara because I have stick straight lashes. I also love wearing waterproof mascaras by themselves. So I was excited to try Physicians Formula Butter Lash Splash Mascara. I've tried some Physicians Formula mascaras before, and they've had the butter scent that Physicians Formula is known for. It's in their bronzers, their blushes, their face products. And I've questioned to you why they feel the need to put that fragrance in eye products when so many people have sensitive eyes. And even if you don't have sensitive eyes, sometimes having fragrance near your eyes can cause issues. But with those mascaras, the scent has dissipated after I applied the mascara. I just didn't notice it once it dried down. This mascara, though, left me smelling that butter scent for probably 30 minutes. I maybe just got used to it. I don't know. Maybe I would have smelled it all day if I didn't move on to do other things and stop thinking about it, but I just kept smelling it. Now, this is a very wet formula. I do like the thoughtfulness that they put into this brush because the inside of the curve allows me to get very, very close to those really short lashes in the corners. Oh my God, I can smell it right now. But because it's such a wet formula, it gave me like 10 or 11 clumps of lashes. I'm exaggerating, but I did have to spend a lot of time combing this out. Could it be better in a couple of weeks, as some mascaras are? Maybe, but I am never going to get past the scent of this and how long it lingers. It's unnecessary. I get that it's Physicians Formula's thing, but it doesn't have to be in everything. It doesn't need to be in a mascara. I have another Physicians Formula product here. Nothing against Physicians Formula. I have a lot of great products from them. I just happened to try a couple that really didn't work out recently. This is the Mineral Wear Diamond Perfector Color Correcting Primer. This is a 3-in-1 gel to serum primer that's supposed to smooth, correct, and brighten uneven skin tone. It comes in a nice glass bottle with a pump, and you can see the beads in here, the color correcting beads. There are some nice ingredients along with their lustrous diamond dust and mineral powder and vitamin E. And it has kind of a watery gel texture when I initially pump it out. And it feels nice and hydrating on my skin, but that's about it. I don't really notice any smoothing, correcting, or brightening with my skin. And it didn't help my makeup last longer either. So I guess this is a nice prep step if you want it for that. But this just didn't really give me anything. I thought, based on the colored beads in here, I was going to get all of this greatness from it, a high-end product for a drugstore price, but it just didn't give me anything. This isn't a makeup product, but it is a beauty product that I have to share with you because I have tried a lot of dry shampoos throughout the years, and the ones I love leave my hair, even my roots, feeling nice and clean. They don't leave my hair feeling gunky or leave a chalky white cast. I tried Divi dry shampoo this month, and I have to say this is one of the worst dry shampoos I've ever tried. This gave me the worst chalky white cast in my hair and felt gunky and almost sticky in my hair. I couldn't run my fingers through my hair without them getting caught because of how gunky it made my hair feel, and the scent is so overwhelming and doesn't dissipate after you spray it at all. It's so strong. My other dry shampoos that I use may have a scent when I spray them, but it doesn't linger in my hair afterwards, and this one all day. I couldn't wait to wash this out of my hair. I was excited to try this and so let down. Now, if you want to see some products that worked out for me that I loved recently, check this video out. I hope this helps you save a little bit of money. If you found it helpful and enjoyable in some way, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're not already. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.